versus STTP Wilson. But Sandstorm, he got knocked out pretty early, but it looks like he's made his way through. He was able to defeat Stingray with this Onyx pick. Brandon, when we saw him lose in the winner's side, he was rocking that Mordex, but he's gone ahead. He swapped over to the Legends. Me and Photo were talking about how the gauntlets got buffed a pretty good amount, and the cannon as well. It's math. You know?
So Onyx is an interesting state, and this is the legend that a lot of people were being like, okay, when this legend becomes tournament legal, this is what Sandstorm's going to be destroying everybody with. And this patch introduced 3 new things, right? The Nair change, which makes Nair into recovery a KO option, which is amazing for gauntlets. It hasn't had that for a very long time. And then also cannon. Sidelight now has much more reliable follow-ups in neutral all the time, as well as the neutral light just being able to hit faster and more reliably. Now, of course, Onyx, very strong signatures. A lot of that recovery time's on miss, but when you're not using the signatures, you're just beating people with cannon like Sandstorm is doing, that could lead to a very scary opponent. I'm super excited to see this play. Now, Isidroo, oh man, almost losing that stock at the very beginning of this match, that side sig. Now, that side sig, super punishable on miss, but when that hits, it can take out even the beefiest legends in light orange, as we just almost saw there.
And that side sig, even in the last patch, I think it got nerfed a little bit, because before people were just throwing it out willy-nilly, and even now it's still just a force to be reckoned with. Quick first stock going to Sandstorm. I'm going to switch right back to the cannon. Of course, Onyx's neutral sig as well. Pretty lightning fast, and it does have some recovery at the end, but not enough that in a lot of scenarios you're going to have a tough time punishing it. Now, granted, Isidroo trying to make something happen here with the Ulgrim. He's doing a decent job this far, needs to find the KO. Wow, that was definitely an accident. No way. No way.
That, that neutral sig was brilliant because he held it long enough to get that spot dodge in place. Of course, now Sandstorm not losing that stock was pretty rough, but that sider taking him down evens up the stocks pretty early, and that is awesome for Isidroo. Sandstorm had a really great start, but Isidroo's really been able to change the pace of the game with this lance.
Oh wow, another catch. Wow, on the landing of Sandstorm. And people always talk about how the Gauntlet versus the Rocket Lance matchup can be a difficult one. Granted, you know, with those buffs, it does make it a little bit more manageable, but I don't know if it's enough to do the job here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Gauntlets, in general, are very polarizing with the matchups that they've got. Although the Lance now having that Nair change, making it a little bit less spammable, could help, although we're seeing Isidroo's having no problem, actually, as I say that. So takes down that stock pretty easily. Sandstorm, when he picked up the gauntlets, I was excited, you know, like, let's see what he's going to be able to do with this. But we have to remember, we talk about the buffs, it buffed one move, and that's the Nair, and really only buffed what it can follow up with in certain situations. So if he's not even getting those openings to begin with, it's not going to make much of a difference. And Isidroo really showing how that's the case.
Oh my goodness.
Nice Nair and a side sig. That's the second side sig on Lance. So he's caught a landing from Sandstorm. Sandstorm's been trying to fast fall out of these Nair chains, and Isidroo just sometimes doesn't go for them and side sigs instead.
Oh my goodness. This dude's getting scrappy here. He's fighting with the unarmed, picks up another Rocket Lance. Really hasn't switched off of it much this match. We saw a little bit of axe in the beginning. I like the weapon toss there to cover his landing. The Rocket Lance, of course, one of the largest weapons, if not the largest. I think only the spear could maybe come close in horizontal, like, space it occupies. Oh! Dang, Sandstorm scouted out that dodge, but just couldn't get the recovery there to secure the KO.
Yeah, side air comes through. Nicely done. Gravity cancel. Side light caught him out of the recovery as well. That is a classic Sandstorm edgeguard. One of the best, if not the best, unarmed attacks to get an edgeguard with because of the trajectory that it sends you, just straight to the left or straight to the right, but also risky because you're using your dodge. But Sandstorm does it. Of course, Isidroo has
my goodness.
So many. He's got to be careful, actually. Okay, he makes it back. But, like, if you spam signatures, it gets okay, got it. Nice down sig. Caught the gauntlet recovery as it was going up. But I get it, right? You see your opponent in deep red, and you want to end that stock as soon as possible, but Sandstorm is the opponent to face against that's going to punish you 100% of the time for that. And we saw that gauntlet ground pound. I like that he went for it. Almost stole that stock away.
I'm honestly so surprised that it didn't hit. We saw that Isidroo jump to the left to try to avoid it, and I feel like 8 out of 10 times there, the ground pound would just activate on its own there that you try to jump out the way. But somehow he was able to kind of find, I guess, the magic pixel to not get hit by that ground pound there, and he was able to seal it out after throwing out a down sig for maybe the 3rd or the 4th time there. But that's the thing about Ulgrim Axe down sig. It's so quick. Yeah, you know, you can punish it if you're in the right spot, but throwing it out willy-nilly like that isn't honestly the biggest risk, and especially when you're up ahead like that, definitely not something that you're too scared about throwing out.
So Isidroo goes into this best of 5, 1 game up, and we're back on Mammoth. Sandstorm on the cannon, which is what he's had an amazing string that opened it up. We see him using these down airs right as it hits the ground, gets that landed animation, has the explosion that splashes a little bit further in front of it than if you use it in the air. And he's been getting a lot of great damage with this. Nice down, like went for the gravity cancel down, like double down air. Isidroo uses all of his jumps to get back. No, can't make it through. Sandstorm, excellent finish with the first down light. Didn't matter. It's a classic thing that you'll see a lot of cannon players do even before the kit got reworked, which is if you go for that gravity cancel down light, you can get so many follow-ups. The down air combos into it no matter what. And man, Sandstorm just completely keeping Isidroo away.
Are you going to let him play? I feel like right now, like, Isidroo hasn't landed a hit in who knows how long. Finally, that Sayre's going to find the mark there, but Sandstorm was keeping him at bay for so long. Isidroo finally starting to get some hits in. Sandstorm goes ahead and refreshes his cannon. That cannon probably only had a little bit of durability left in it anyway, so I think it's a good thing that he switched there. And here we go again. Wow, onto the platform with that jump down air. Was able to push Isidroo to the side. This is amazing here. How will Isidroo get out the corner?
Yeah. Trying to figure that out. Okay, gauntlets are picked up, and honestly, that might be a good thing for Isidroo. That side sig, it used to be that you could just fly forward with it, but now it has so much recovery frames towards the end if you miss. But Sandstorm with the classic double side light recovery takes Isidroo off the top. Now 2 stocks up, or 2 stocks above Isidroo in game number 2.
And I'm actually a little bit surprised that Sandstorm decided to keep the gauntlets here. He definitely had a chance to keep the cannon if he wanted to, but maybe he wants to warm it up a little bit because it's been clear that the cannon's been kind of getting the job done here. But gets sent off of his first stock, finally sent to the second here. Sandstorm perfectly poised to win this match and make this set 1-1. We'll see if Isidroo has it in him.
I really like the point that you made about warming up the gauntlets because the point really being is that if you stay on the cannon so long, even though it has a lot of success, the more that you're playing on it, that's the more time you can give your opponent to, oh, never mind. That gravity cancel sidelight was so late, but such a great read that it looks like Sandstorm is going to be able to get the job done no matter what weapon he uses. Interesting. I don't think he meant to pivot that down air, but got the gravity cancel down light.
I love that. He immediately dashes forward, picks up the weapon and side sigs because it's just one of those classic like follow-ups off of a weapon pickup. People just aren't ready. Oh my goodness, there we go again. Dash side sig. Strong finish from Sandstorm in game 2 right there as we go ahead and secure the set 1-1 for both players. Now once again we are in top 8. Every set from this point forward will be best of 5. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Sandstorm. I was able to pop into his stream a little bit kind of during the downtime while we were swapping casters, and he said he had a really long night. You know, he's very tired. He actually didn't expect to even make it to top 8, but he said he ate some tacos and he's feeling good, so hopefully that's enough to carry him through.
Well, that's interesting. He's got the power of tacos by himself. Taking a note out of Defensive's playbook for certain. Sandstorm now back on the Mammoth against Isidroo for game number 3. Still on the Onyx. One sidelight comes through. Now, the note about the cannon sidelight, it's not very different at low damage. Oh, nice ground pound. Oh, he went for the down air and ended up dipping down a little bit too low with that fast fall. Fully charged up that side, so Isidroo almost drifted into it. But the thing to note about cannon sidelight is that before, it would have all the follow-ups that you're used to earlier on and then fall off the more and more damage that you do. But at this point, if Sandstorm hits Isidroo with a sidelight, he can still follow it up with a nicely timed side air or anything else. Whereas before, they might get knocked back a little bit too far. Neutral hits.
Wow, he somehow was able to drift around that neutral air and get the unarmed neutral light. But Isidroo kind of start from here. Won't have the chance here. Had to kind of give up that weapon there so he didn't get punished by Sandstorm. Wow, what an interrupt with the Sayer. He's going deep for a recovery. Not going to land. And Sandstorm has a chance to reverse it. And he misses as well. Isidroo with the recovery. KOing Sandstorm off the top. Kind of a cheeky one there. But that's going to be all she wrote for Sandstorm stock there. Very close game so far.
Ooh, but Isidroo pushing that lead a little bit further into his favor. Cider wasn't finishing up that stock just yet. Sandstorm went for a downlight. Nice punish by Isidroo. 2 hits in a row. Trying to get those reverse snares to tag on as much extra credit as possible. 1 hit, second one does not. Sandstorm can't get the gravity cancel downlights. Sayer still doesn't do it.
Oh, wow, that was so quick.
Did he make a
weapon toss? He missed it.
Okay, no, he can't.
Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Okay, cool. So he ready? It looks like he needed one more jump there to be able to make it with like a rocket land side air or something, but he just didn't have it. So that's going to be a good KO for Sandstorm as he's trying to bring himself back into this. This is a great string to do that.
Oh, man! That downer was Isidroo used all of his jumps to dodge. Okay. That's the classic Cannon 0 to death with a twist. That down air at the end to force Isidroo to go down into the left after. Oh my god, it's happening again. Silent down air to ground pound. Isidroo can he even make it back? He dodges. Okay. I mean, Isidroo just saw that happen. Oh no, Slightlight is there. All right. This is the power of the cannon. When Slightlight's got follow-ups in orange, that's what happens. Man. Oh, Isidroo's going for those recoveries. He down airs him. Went for the weapon pickup, but he sidelights instead. Isidroo's trying to get that down signature spike, but oh, what? How is Isidroo perfectly punishing the Onyx side sig on gauntlets every time? First it was an X-Sider, now the Ulgrim down sig. Okay, Isidroo took a ton of damage, but he's not out. If he can take this stock away from Sandstorm, never mind. That's
ya immediately turns into stone. Sandstorm with the flex there. It was looking like a pretty close game until it wasn't. I was like that one stock was a body bag, man. And we even saw Isidroo go for what looked like a gravity cancel unarmed side sig to try and push himself a little bit more horizontally toward the ledge, but that wasn't enough to save him. Sandstorm just completely erupting onto the scene there. Isidroo was not ready. It looks like he's returned back to tip-top shape here, man. The tacos go hard.
Yeah, the tacos are indeed going hard. They're just about being digested right now. That's where the power is coming from, right? Like, he ate them 2 hours ago. Now we're into it. Sandstorm 2-1 over Isidroo on the Mammoth Fortress still, which is interesting. I mean, Sandstorm has a winning record against a lot of players in the game, but something that is always interesting to me is that people will continue to allow them to go into Mammoth Fortress against Sandstorm, which is definitely one of his best stages. We see Isidroo here in game number 4. Again, batted around by that sidelight. Not too many 0 to death follow-ups so far, but this is heavily in Sandstorm's favor with damage. Downlight came through, hit at such an awkward angle that he didn't know how to follow up.
Oh my goodness. Isidroo somehow manages to get through. Look, that neutral light from Cannon is so fast, right? You saw Sandstorm just able to stand in that corner and spam it, because Isidroo's like, man, even if I dodge through here, he'll have enough time to do another move. He really has to try to get tricky with his movement to make it back to the stage, but here we are. Isidroo finally getting a little, whoa! He let the chainsaw rip and didn't get punished. He's a legend for that one, because that is definitely one of the easier sigs in the game to punish.
All right, Isidroo managed to bring this back, and I like the point that you made about the yeah, that's death. So just to let anybody know that if you're just watching Brawlhalla for the first time, you can perform a gravity cancel, uses the dodge. The fact that Isidroo did that in neutral meant that he had no way to dodge the recovery follow-up that was bound to happen after that sidelight. Easy stock for Sandstorm. And now Isidroo, Isidroo's low on jumps. He's got to be careful. Okay, recovery comes through. Sandstorm, smart not to jump into that recovery. The axe recovery almost certainly would have spiked him. And then the down sig. That is Sandstorm's kryptonite for sure.
This is just like the one move that you can be sure that they won't be able to react to if they don't spot dodge it. And sometimes you just charge it for a little bit to catch a spot dodge, and that's all she wrote. But just like that, Sandstorm kind of comes in, guns blazing on his next stock. Isidroo trying to get a few hits in, but man, Sandstorm just really... That's the thing, right? That's what identifies Sandstorm as a player, is that he takes a hit and he just extends it so much further than anyone else can.
Yeah, it certainly does. And in a game where string or combos are only 2 to 3 hits at most, and you have to rely on strings, Sandstorm's ability really shows with how he can react and predict where people are going to make those strings look like combos. Lots of neutralites and downlights being put up by Isidroo, just trying to catch Sandstorm in a risky position. Nice one nair hits. Oh, that dodge out of the way after the neutral sig. Yes. The nairs are connected, but neither player is actually able to land anything. One nair finally goes through. Isidroo doesn't get the recovery read, but he just wants to find one more nair, possibly get the lance recovery. Even a quick lance recovery might be able to take Sandstorm off the top. No, it definitely will.
Now, if he held it, brother.
Oh. Feel like, man, I mean, it's a 50-50, right? In that moment, you're deciding either to tap the chainsaw button or hold it the entire duration. Obviously, he went for the latter, or the former. But Sandstorm takes that stock. It's true, only one axe air away from eating up this game and possibly bringing it to game 5. Never mind, a down sig away. That is the finisher of the day for Isidroo. One more down sig can do. Okay.
Oh, he didn't get the... He didn't punish him for it. Oh man, now Isidroo's off stage against Sandstorm. We've already seen what the cannon can do. Unarmed recovery, not enough juice on it. Tries to get the rocket lance recovery now, and he's unable to find it. But one thing I will point out here is that Isidroo was playing the gauntlet into rocket lance matchup so well that he forced Sandstorm to actually go to the cannon there. He's like, all right, literally to play the gauntlet matchup, all I need to do is throw out neutralites and nairs, and I will force him to be in a terrible spot. I don't need to do anything else. Nice read. Not enough damage though for it to really matter here, but Isidroo's starting to turn it up a little bit. It's now a tie game, as close as it gets. Taza, I don't know if it's going to be able to hang on here. Can Isidroo do it?
Oh, it looks like he's going to make it happen as that down sig hits, and he put a little bit of a charge in it this time. Ooh, nair hits.
Nice.
Down sig again.
Live and die by it. Oh, he's gonna charge it. It's so hard to know. He's doing it again. Just keep letting it fly. It's so hard to deal with. That could have been a gravity cancel D-Sig right there, but you don't want to get too predictable with your timings here.
Downer hits. Oh, he's got to be careful. Okay, so I feel like Isidroo should look for Axe Neutralite now because he has him so damaged a Neutralite from either edge of the stage. Could definitely do it. Lance Neutralite, all the same. No. Okay, silent recovery. Got it.
Okay, so what I think was key to Isidroo winning that game there is actually the fact that he, in that last exchange, he had an axe in hand. There was a weapon that had spawned on the Mammoth platform, and he decided to throw away his axe and pick up, like, just starve Sandstorm, right? Because if Sandstorm had gotten that cannon there, I actually firmly believe he would have won that game. I think making sure that he didn't have a weapon, even if he may not be going to his weapon of choice, was definitely the play to make there, and he was able to clutch it out because of that. But this is tense.
Yeah, the gauntlets are showing, or we're talking about the polarizing matchups, where they have some matchups that they just are amazing in, particularly against like blasters, for instance. And then there are other matchups like against guitars and lance where it struggles just to get anything started in general. Isidroo now on the lance against the cannon, and Sandstorm has been amazing with the cannon so far. He's looking in particular for when his opponents dodge when he hits the first sidelight. If he gets that sidelight and reacts correctly to whatever his opponents choose, he can take that stock and throw it off the left or right side of the match, as we saw in previous games. Here we are on game number 5, and Isidroo playing remarkably around Sandstorm's cannon. Now out of the gauntlets. Okay, that was interesting. I think. Robbed. Okay, so the chainsaw clashed. No, it didn't clash. It stopped the gauntlet recovery, but I guess it stopped it early enough that Sandstorm fell out of getting KO'd by it. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Gauntlet recovery, OP. Okay, Silent comes through, and that's what I was talking about. Got the dodge read. We did a backwards dodge. Got the Sair afterwards, getting some more damage, but oh, just a raw Sair on the axe takes Sandstorm down. 2 stocks left for Sandstorm, potentially in the tournament.
Let's see, Sandstorm, a little bit on the back foot now. Gonna need to see if he's able to survive here. Okay, ooh, can't get the nair. Isidroo with the falling neutral air as well, and this is a great matchup for Isidroo here. I don't know if Sandstorm's going to want to keep this going for too much longer here, but he's still sticking with those gauntlets in hand. It's a sidelight recovery, not enough to KO. Another one might, depending on where he lands it. Oh, what a weapon throw as well. Man, Sandstorm doesn't want to be trading with Isidroo right now. Every single trade is just that much closer to Isidroo knocking him out the bracket.
It's just, it's rough because gauntlets are so committal depending on whatever option they go for. You're looking for the side light, which is going to put you in the air against Lance, right? Side air, down air, and air, whatever you say, it's just going to do a ton of damage. Or a gravity cancel down light, which is going to get rid of your dodge. So Sandstorm switches over to the cannon, goes for that weapon throw to force Isidroo to recover to the left, but the platform provides Isidroo with the safety to make it back, and now he can look for even more damage. Excellent neutralite. Caught him before he could pick up the weapon from switching, and now Sandstorm is the one that's unarmed, and Isidroo is just sidelighting down to neutral sig. He is going to be it's going to be 2 stocks over Sandstorm. Sider misses for both players.
Okay, there we go.
Nicely done. Downlight Nair still connects even at that angle. Sandstorm holds on to dear life as he is 1 stock away from being on his last stock, potentially of the tournament.
Oh, man. Sandstorm. Can he hang on here? Isidroo looking to make history happen once again, and he's doing quite an amazing job at it as well. Sandstorm needs to rack up damage here. This is a good start. Gets a nice read. That's going to be a lot of damage. Can't get the neutral light there, but look at that. Just that one string took Isidroo into the light orange, and he was able to find another 2-piece after that. Even if Sandstorm dies here, I think he's done the damage he needed to win this. Woo! Yeah,
the neutral comes through. Sandstorm is just taking control over this next stock. Put that side sig, but Isidroo just went straight for the weapon. Okay, gets sided away. That side sig looked strange, but I liked what Sandstorm was doing. There's like the I'm reading my opponent's read sort of deal, where like Isidroo may have thought it was too obvious to go straight for the weapon, so he may have gone for an unarmed attack. That's where the side sig really would have shined. I like what Sandstorm went through. Still got punished by that side air.
Oh, now we're playing some nooch.
Now.
All Alright, that's going to be... Oh, he couldn't get the read there. It's kind of a 50-50. Is he going to dodge? Plays to the left, to the right, and there he goes. Gets it this time.
That's huge. That's huge. Actually, that's the earliest I think he could have naturally KO'd his opponent, was using those sidelights, because not only are the sidelights great damage if you get the end of the attack, but comboing both of them brings you up halfway to the kill box at the top of the screen. Recovery is all he needs to be able to do to get it done. Isidroo now getting nared in a down air. A lot of damage coming through. Oh, that was almost perfect. He went for the pivot down air read, but it just didn't connect. Silent recovery. Went for the nair afterwards. Isidroo's getting tossed around by these gauntlets. Sandstorm making a comeback.
Just like that, man. This was looking like Isidroo was clearly in a position to win this, and then Sandstorm's turning it up. He has the cannon in hand as well. Oh,
recovery got through the weapon toss. Down air hits. Isidroo has a dodge to make it back to the stage. He gets down aired. Neutral sync wasn't the right read, but the recovery hits it. Isidroo set flying. Only one hit to go. Sandstorm throws the weapon down. Now unarmed. Hits the recovery. He's so close to being dead, but Isidroo, if he keeps him off a weapon, there's a chance. Down line recovery, done. Sandstorm wins the set 3-2 and knocks Isidroo down, who was on the verge of making an incredible upset, but Sandstorm moves on. Isidroo is out. What a crazy, crazy match.
Oh, man. Sandstorm really going to keep me on the edge of my seat throughout this entire top 8, man.